So let's talk about where the theorem of Pythagoras comes from. Okay, we have a triangle and a bunch of squares there. Okay, so what Pythagoras figured out, I have no idea how, don't ask me. What? Don't ask me how. No idea how he figured this out, but he figured out that when you have a right angle triangle, remind me again, guys, what type of triangle is the right angled triangle? What do you guys remember about a right angled triangle? Anyone? Mikhail's like 90 bananas. Thank you very much, Siam Tanda. It has a 90-degree angle and there's a hypotenuse. Okay, so let's check if we have a right angle triangle over here. There we go. We have a 90 degrees. And obviously the longest side is called the hypotenuse. So he figured out that if you have such a triangle, okay, and you put in a square on each of the sides, okay, then the square of the two shorter sides will equal, well, the sum, I forgot to say sum, the sum of the squares of the shorter sides will equal to the square of the longer side. Let's see what I'm saying, guys. Which ones are the shorter sides here? Between A, B, and C, what are the two shortest sides? What do we think? The cocoa host is in the building. C and B. Thank you very much. Okay. Switched off my video by mistake. C and B. So those are the shorter sides. Now let's count this area of the two squares. Okay. So let's see. For C, we have how many squares? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we have C squared, which is 16, plus B squared. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Okay. Now what's 16 plus 9, guys? What's 16 plus 9? If you add those, what do we get? 25. Now what he said is when you add those squares, it will give you the longest side squared. So which one is the longest side? It's A, right? There's only A left. A squared, let's count if it's 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 25. Okay, so this is what Mr. I forgot what his first name is. Pythagoras has figured out. So if you have a right angled triangle, you have one unknown side, then we can say that A squared is equal to C squared plus B squared. There we go. Said nicely in nice English, because English is not Englishing right now. Okay, so the theorem says in a right angled triangle, a square, which is what we have here, formed at the hypotenuse, the longest side, will have the same area as the sum of the area of the two squares formed on the other sides. Therefore, hypotenuse squared, A squared, equals side 1, B squared, plus side 2, C squared. Okay, so if you look at here, you have your right angle triangle. So if you say side 1 squared plus sides 2 squared, that will equal hypotenuse squared. But do not forget the hypotenuse, the square part, excuse me. Nobody wants me to go up. Okay, do not forget to square. If you don't square it, it will not work. Okay, because 4 plus 3 is definitely not 5. So do not forget NB to square. Okay, wonderful. Now let's use what we just learned. And I want you guys to tell me, is this a right angled triangle? How are we going to figure that out? Question is this a right angled triangle? Wait, is like no, question mark, question mark, question mark. How do we know it's not a right angle triangle? You need to prove what you are saying. There's no right angle. You have to prove whether there is a right angle, guys. How can we do that? Using what you just learned right now, how can you prove whether or not this is a right angle triangle? Oh, guys, we need to screenshot a bit faster than this. How can we prove that this is, remember guys, I didn't give you any angle in that triangle. So you can't definitively say, no, this is not a right angle triangle. You have to try and prove whether or not this is a right angle triangle. Yes, Mikhail.
Ma'am, you said that the Pythagoras is those two sides equal the hypotenuse. 4 plus 4 doesn't
Wait.
equal 6.
Oh, but remember I said don't forget the what, Mikhail. You're forgetting something important. What is it? E. So we have to square it, guys. So we have to find out, is AB squared plus BC squared equal to AC squared? Let's find out. Okay. So first we're going to find AB squared. This is my left-hand side. Okay. This is my left-hand side. AB squared plus BC squared. How much is AB? How much is AB? 4. All right, so we have 4 squared plus, and BC, how long is BC? 4 again, 4 squared. Okay, now what's 4 squared equal to? 16 plus another 16, which is equal to how much? What's 16 plus 16? 32. So on my left-hand side, we have a 32. Now let's go to the right-hand side. On the right-hand side, we only have one side, which is AC squared. And how long is AC? 6. So that's 6 squared. And how much is 6 squared? 36. Now I'll go back to my question. Is this a right angle triangle? And what would your reason be? Is this a right angle triangle? No. So therefore, this is not a right angle triangle. Because what? Because my left-hand side, let me write it out. Thank you, Zeketelo. Because left-hand side is not equal to my right-hand side. Because remember, if these were equal, these would have to be, this would have to be a 90-degree angled triangle. Oh, I buffered for a moment. Okay, so if we're asking you, is this a right angled triangle? You can't just say no. We need to have proof and reasonings. Okay, so as Zekatela said, AB squared plus BC squared is not equal to AC squared. So this cannot be a right angled triangle according to Mr. Pythagoras. Okay, let's do another one. Let's do another one. There we go. There we go. This time our sides are 4, 15, and 12. Is this a right angle triangle? Anyone want to do this one with me? Let me first name it. E, F, G. Yes, Lindile. Let me unmute. Sindile. Excuse me. Yeah, flu is catching up to me. Can you hear that, guys? My voice is... Sindile is not unmuting. Zianda?
Hello, ma'am.
Oh, there we go. Hi, Slindile.
Hi. Hi, ma'am.
Are you doing this one with me?
Yes.
Okay,
It's
let's go.
EF squared plus FG squared.
FG squared.
equals to
Mm-hmm.
the bottom is, and it's 4 squared
Mm-hmm.
plus 12 squared.
There we go.
And 4 squared is equals to 16
16.
plus 144.
144. Okay.
And my final answer is 160.
160. Okay.
And we say e3
Mm-hmm.
equals to, at the bottom, squared,
Mm-hmm.
15 squared
15 squared.
which is equals to 225.
So is this a right angle triangle, Slindile?
It's not a right angle, ma'am.
Not a right angle triangle. Thank you very much. Right angled triangle. Okay. Why does it feel like I'm only picking not right angled triangles? I promise you it's not on purpose. Guys, before we move on, Zianda's hand is raised up. Zianda, do you have a question? Okay, Zianda's not unmuting. That's okay. Okay, we're going to do the same thing, but this time with 6, 8, and 10. So out of 6, 8, and 10, I want you guys to tell me which one is the hypotenuse. We have a triangle with the sides 6, 8, and 10. Which one is the hypotenuse? 10. How do you know that? How do we know it's 10? Thank you, Zeketelo. It is the longest side. Now let's do this together. Let's do this together. I want to know, is this a right angle triangle? So we have 3 sides, 6, 8, and 10. Let's call the sides with 6 AB. This can be BC. Okay, no, actually, it can just be A, B, and C. I want you guys to prove, is this a right angle triangle? Yes, Zianda?
Hi, ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Ma'am, I have a question about the previous thingy triangle that we're doing, but then like it kicked me out, so I'm back. At school we do it differently.
You do what differently?
Like we calculate it differently. Like this whole method, we don't do this method.
Okay, which method do you use in school?
So Mr. Verasamy said we should draw out this what's this thingy? The box thing. What's this? The box thingy.
The squares.
Yes, and then you're gonna draw your square, and then you're gonna say 4. You're gonna say 4 squared plus 12 squared, but she's still in that box thing.
I don't understand what you mean. So are you drawing it like the way I'm drawing it now?
No, ma'am. What you're gonna? It's the what is it called? It's the box with the tick. What's it called? Square root. Square root.
Oh, square roots. This thing.
Yes. Yes,
Oh,
that. Okay, that's what I
okay.
was.
Roots.
Okay, so then you're gonna say brackets 4 squared plus brackets 12 squared underneath it.
Okay, I see what you mean, Zianda. But remember, we are trying to first prove if this is a right angle triangle. That method, Zianda, is if I give you 2 sides. Now, let's say I give you a triangle, and I'm telling you it's a right angle triangle, right?
Yes.
And then I say this side is a 7 and that side is a 4. Then this side will be the square root of 7 squared plus 4 squared. Do you see what I mean?
Yes, ma'am.
We're getting there just now, okay?
Oh, okay. So I was
But
doing drawing, but like I got the same answers, but I just worked it out.
yeah, but you square rooted both sides. Do you see what I mean? So
Yes,
we just
ma'am.
left it as a square answer. So we just said this squared, is this squared equal to that squared? No. And then we proved our method. If you square root both sides, that's fine. It still won't be a right angle triangle because the square root of 32 will not be equal to the square root of 36. So we were trying to prove whether or not it is a right angle triangle.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Okay, the answer is yes, is what I see. Okay, let's see if this is a right angle triangle. So I'm gonna write left-hand side and I'm gonna write right-hand side. Okay, now what do I have on my left-hand side? I have a squared plus b squared. How much is a squared? How much is 6 squared, guys? 36 plus what? Plus 64. And what's my total? 100. Okay, now let's go to the right-hand side. The right-hand side is just c squared, which is 10 squared. How much is 10 squared? 100. Now, is this a right angle triangle? Beautiful. My reason? Yes, it is a right angle triangle because what? Because a squared plus b squared is indeed equal to c squared. Okay, let's have a check in. Are we good with Pythagoras? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay, I see thumbs up in the reactions. 18 thumbs up, 21. Okay. And some in the chat. There's 100 of us in here, guys. I expect way more responses than that. Okay. Wonderful. Now, we're going to use Pythagoras. And first, we're going to find my notes that I made that I moved just now. There he is. Okay. I want us to read this. So if your teacher says leave the answer in third form. Okay. So first it says you pronounce third like you say word. Okay. In third form means that you leave it under the square root. Remember, not all numbers are perfect squares. Now let's look at this definition. It says square root of 5 is an example of a number in third form. Square root of 9 is not third because you can simplify it and write an answer that is 3. Okay, but if you get an answer that is not a perfect square, for instance, square root of 7, we can't exactly square root 7. So you just leave it that way. So in a test, when your teacher says, work out something, a length, the third side of a triangle, side of a square, whatever. If you are square rooting and you realize this is not a perfect square, then just leave it in third form. Okay, now let's get to Pythagoras. I have a triangle here, ABC. I need you guys to give me the length of AC. What is the length of AC? Okay. Slindile's hand is up. Slindile, are you helping me? Yes, Lindile. Dwayne, I see your question. I'll go back to it.
Yes, ma'am, I'm helping you.
Okay, let's go for it.
AC squared
AC squared.
is equals to AB squared
AB squared
plus BC squared.
plus BC squared. Okay.
Yes, it's at the bottom it's equals to it's equals to 2 squared plus 5 squared.
Plus 5 squared. So how much is squared?
And 2 squared is equals to 4 plus
4 plus
5.
25. Okay. I'm gonna continue on the side here.
And my answer
Your answer?
is 30. 30.
What's 25 plus 4? Check again.
25. 24 plus 4. Oh, 29.
There we go. But they didn't ask for AC squared. We asked for AC. So how do we get rid of the square?
Square roots with square roots.
There we go. So we're going to square root both sides. Therefore, AC is what? See, we're giving it in. There we go. Insert form. But if you use your calculator, then AC is?
He is 5,38.
5,3.
8.
3, 8. Okay. Thank you, Slindile. Okay, guys. Are we all good with Pythagoras? Are we all good with Pythagoras? That, I think, is what, now I forgot who asked. This is what we meant when we had to do the square root. So what her teacher does is he puts the square root right in the beginning, like over there. But that's a bit dangerous. I prefer you guys to first substitute, then keep going with it. Then at the end, you can square root. Okay. Wonderful. What time is it? I have a challenge question, but I don't want to make you guys explode yet. Ooh. Okay, it's the brain break after this, so I think you guys can explode. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You won't believe what I thought of when I just sang that you'll be fine. Have you guys watched the Lorax? That's the song that came to mind just now. Okay, now we have a bunch of right angle triangles and we want the everyone in the chat's like, never mind, we're not good, we're not fine. We are it. Come on. Come on. It isn't bad, Omulimo. It isn't bad. Okay. So guys, if we are doing Pythagoras, right? Yeah, this is so dramatic. If we're doing Pythagoras, how many sides do we need to know? So if I want to use a right angle triangle and I want to use Pythagoras, how many sides do we need to know? 2 sides. Thank you, Andiswa. So now the question is, give us the length of AG, which is over there. Is it possible to find AG using the triangle AFG? It's not a nightmare, guys. You'll be fine. You knew I was going to challenge you. But we're missing a side, guys. Thank you, Lisejo. It's not. We're missing a side. We don't have two sides in this triangle. We only have one, which is FG. Okay. So, yes, Tando, do you have a question or are you helping me?
Ma'am, I just wanted to find out something. In this question, is it the question where like we use the AB side to calculate the AF side?
Well, you're going
Or
to use AB to calculate AC, and then use that to calculate AD, use that to calculate AE, use that to calculate AF. Then you're going to get to AG.
okay, ma'am.
Okay, let's hear Omolemo. Do you have a question?
Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, I can.
I wanted to ask, so would AB and AC be the same, or would you have to work them out separately?
You have to work it out using Pythagoras. We already know AB. They told us AB is 2. Do you see that?
Yes.
Yes. So we have to work it out using Pythag. Okay. Anybody happy? Guys, I gave you such massive hints just now of how we're doing this. Let's start with the first triangle. Okay, let's start with the first triangle. So in triangle 1, okay, we're going to say AB squared plus BC squared, and that's going to give us AC squared. That's the only one we can start with because that's the only one we know two sides of. Okay, how long is AB, guys? Oh, Zekatelo that, boom. But Zekatelo forgot to square root. AB is 2 squared plus BC is 1 squared. And that's going to give us AC squared. Okay, what's 2 squared? That's 4 plus 1. So therefore, AC is the square root of 5. Wonderful. See, it wasn't that bad, guys. It wasn't that bad. So now we know that this part is square root 5. Whew. Let me make this picture bigger so I can write properly on it. Because at this moment, it's very tiny. Wadey, are you doing the rest of it with me? That's the square root of 5. Yes, Oluse. Oh, you guys are being dramatic for nothing. Now we have AC, okay? AC, now we are in triangle number 2. Maybe I should highlight them as we move. Now we're in this triangle, okay? And now we can work out that triangle because we have 2 sides. Okay, now let's see. AC squared plus CD squared equals AD squared. Oh, Zekatelo is ahead. AC squared is 5. CD, there's no way it's 26, guys. Remember, this side is the square root of 5. It's not 5. It's the square root. So AC squared is what? Square root of 5 squared. What's square root of 5 squared, guys? What happens to these two operations, square root and a square? Look carefully. I caught you out. Come on now. What happens? There we go, Zianda. So if you square root something and then you square it, it's just that number. Yes, they cancel out. So the square root of 5 squared is just 5. It's not 25. Do we understand, guys? Let me check in before I move on. And my dog is barking again. There we go. I see some thumbs up. So AC squared is the square root of 5 squared. There we go. Plus CD squared is 1 squared. And that's AD squared. So then that is 5 plus 1. Therefore, AD is the square root of 6. Let me check in. Are we all still with me? Are we all still with me? If I've lost you, stop me now, guys. If I've lost you, stop me now. Primelo just sent a question mark. Primelo, you need to ask a question, please. Yes, Tando.
Ma'am, I just want to find out, where did the square root come from? Because I noticed that we square rooted the 5. So I want to know now, where did the square root 6 come from?
Okay, Tando, remember, look at the step over here. We said AD squared is 5 plus 1, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Which is 6. But we don't want AD squared. We just want AD.
Yes, ma'am.
So how am I going to get rid of the squared?
Uh,
The inverse operation for squaring. What's the opposite of squaring?
Cubing, ma'am.
The chat. Look at Andy, so she's helping you. Or he. And Sia. Look here, Tando. If I have 25, ne?
Yes,
That's 5 squared, right?
yes, ma'am.
How do I get rid of the square?
Ma'am, I forgot the word, but like,
You square root, Tando.
yes, ma'am.
Do you remember?
Yes, ma'am.
So that's why. So I wanted to get rid of the square on AD. So I square rooted, right?
So you square rooted the 5 squared.
No. And didn't you ask about the AD with the 6?
Yes, ma'am. That's what I was asking about, actually.
Tando's confusing himself. Look, Tando. We are here. Ne? AD squared is 6, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But I only want AD. So I want to get
Okay.
rid of this square over here.
So you square rooted it. Okay, then I understand.
Yes. But what I do
Then now I'm starting to see. Oh,
great. So what I do on the left, I do on the right.
you're on
So
the right. Yes.
So on this side, it will just cancel out. So I'll be left with just AD. But on the right, I'll be left with the square root of 6.
Ma'am, it shows I'm tired.
Woo! As long as you get it, Tando. I'm just happy that you get it. Wow. Okay. Guys, let's try and ask specific questions so I can help us. Okay, now we have AD. Okay, we're good with AD. We are moving on to the next triangle, guys. Are we with me still? I hope so. So this was square root 5. This was square root 6. Now we are on which triangle? AD. There we go. Now we're on this triangle. Whee! Okay. Now we're on this triangle. I see already answers. So now we're going to say AD squared plus DE squared equals AE squared. Okay, AD we just said is the square root of 6 squared plus DE is 1 equals AE squared. What's the, okay, listen. What is the square root of 6 squared? Let's see if we're getting this. The square root of 6 squared. Interesting. 636. 6. Yes. Okay, do you get it now, guys? It cancels each other out. Plus 1 squared is just 1 equals AE squared. So then AE squared will be equal to 7. And if I square root both sides, therefore, AE, not just AE is the square root of 7. Okay, so now we're over here, square root 7. Okay, and I'm going to use a different color for once. Now we're on this triangle over there. Okay, I think I saw the answer somewhere. I'm just starting to see where this is going. It can't be 3 because 6 isn't a square number. Okay, Pamela, square root does not mean divide by 2. Okay, square root means what number times itself will give you the square. So if I say the square root of 16, I'm asking you which number times itself will give you 16, and that is 4. Okay, I'm not saying 16 divided by 2 because that would be 8. I think that's why you're confusing them. So the square root means which number do you have to times by itself? So you say that number times that same number, and it gives you the square number. Okay. I saw someone says, ma'am, I don't understand. Please raise your hand so that I can help you. Hands up, guys, so that we can get help. There we go. Zianda.
Hi, ma'am. Can you hear me?
There we go. Yes, I can.
Ish, ma'am. How come, ma'am, you got 7? Man, I got 37.
Okay, Zianda, did you remember? Remember, how long is AD? What's the length of AD?
6.
It's the square root of 6. Remember, AD squared was 6, right?
Yeah.
How do I get rid of the square?
Square root.
But if I square root on the left,
On the right too.
so what's left on the side? The square root and the square have canceled each other out, right?
Yes.
So what's left? Just AD. Do you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
So AD is the square root of 6. It's not 6. Do you see your mistake?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you feel better?
Yes, thank you.
Thanks for asking. Guys, I love it when people understand. Okay, where are we? We are on AE. Okay, now we're doing AF. Yes, Malibongwe.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
I'd like to do the next one with you.
Okay, let's go for it.
So AE squared plus EF squared
F squared equals
AF squared.
AF squared. Okay.
And then square root to 7 squared plus 1 squared equals AF squared.
Okay.
And then it's 7 plus 1 equals AF squared.
Yes.
Then we say, therefore, AF squared is equal to square root of 8.
So just AF then. AF
Yeah.
is a square root of 8. Yes. We are closer to where we're going. We are here, guys. There's one left. Who's doing the last one with me? Zakatelo has written it down. Butle, you're making the same mistake. Remember, AE is square root of 7. It's not 7, okay? Umulimo,
Hello, ma'am. I'd like to do the last one with you, ma'am.
let's go for it.
Okay. AF squared plus FG squared is equal to AG squared.
Equals AG squared, okay?
Which then equals 8 plus 1 squared.
8 plus 1.
Which is equal to 8 plus 1.
Okay, let me do this. AG squared. 8 plus 1.
Which AG is equal to the square root of 9, which is equal to
There
3.
we go. How? I didn't even see that. Oh, beautiful, guys. I didn't even see that it was equal to that. I didn't even see, guys. Oh my goodness. It is 3. Okay, let's see. Everyone is confused. Pimelo, what's up? Pimelo, raise your hand so I can help you. I think it's the coffee. I think it's the lack of coffee. Ho, ho, ho. I should have been drinking coffee. Guys, I was so used to writing square root 8, square root 7, square root 6. I did not think that it's going to be equal to 3. That was beautiful, guys. That was so beautiful. Okay, let's have our brain break quickly. Primero doesn't want to raise his hand or her hand. Okay. First one, would you rather eat? I don't know where I went. Give me 2 seconds because I just had a mental breakdown. There we go. Would you rather eat a frog or a snake? Right off the bat, my brain is retarded. Everyone is saying snake and I'm concerned. I can't. I actually can't. I'd rather eat a frog, guys. People eat frog legs. People eat frog legs. Okay. Who said stuff to death? And this is like, nah, I'd rather die. Who is iPhone who's used to eating snakes? Me, I wanna know. Me, I wanna know. Ooh, nobody's like, frog legs are nice. Ma'am. I don't think so. Tony's like, I'll eat both. You guys are scaring me. Let's see the next one. Would you rather have a private jet or a massive mansion? Malibog was like, Connie, off. Something is not right. Why are we eating frog legs and snakes? Mansion, private jet, mansion, private jet, mansion. This one is like split in the middle, I think. Okay, let me be honest with you guys. Okay, I hate going anyway. Okay, like I hate going anyway. So a private jet would be very useless for me. Extremely useless, guys. I don't even shop in the store. I grocery shop online. That's how much I hate going anyway. So mansion it is. Mansion it is for me. Where are you going with private jets, guys? Me, I wanna know. To school. Come on now. Come on.
Take a jet because you can go anywhere. Like if I wanted to go to, I don't know, Madagascar tomorrow, like I'm going.
You're gonna run out of places to go, ma'am.
But you're gonna run out of places to go in your house. What are you gonna do in your mansion?
I hate going anywhere in the first place. The point of not going anywhere is to not
See,
go
maybe you
anywhere.
hate going places because you don't have a private jet.
Nah, I just hate going places because there's people. But anyway, we digress. Hey, me, I guess I don't like thinking. Would you rather eat any meal that you want, guys, every single day, but you have to have it with a dog treat, or eat cereal forever and ever? So you eat any meal that is accompanied by a dog treat. You guys would rather eat dog treats. I'm so disturbed. I can't. Or eat cereal every single day. Guys, oh, this one is very difficult for me. I don't know. Rihanna's like, I'll eat the dog treat. I will eat the dog treat. I don't know how I feel. Sima, what do you think about this one?
I'm going with any meal as well.
You'd rather eat the dog treat. Oh.
A dog treat isn't so bad. It's not so bad.
Have you eaten one? Guys, I'm so concerned. I have to go.
I've eaten one, but I've
Oh.
seen people eat it. And they were fine. They were like, oh, I love this stuff. So, like, I know people when they give their dog a treat, they have one themselves. So,
I love it. I actually love it. Sia's like, look, I'd eat a dog treat. If I'm being honest, I would eat the dog treat. I'm sorry. I'm not eating cereal forever and ever. That's not going to happen. Okay, let's see. Would you rather? Wadey wants to go back to work. Wadey, you must hold your horses. We're about to go and work just now. Would you rather always have to wear clothes that have dots or clothes that have stripes? So every day of your life, dots or stripes? I'd go with stripes that are that way so that I look taller. Stripes that are this way are going to make me look like a violin. So I don't think I'm going to, not a violin, what is that? A piano. And then I'm going to look shorter and I'm going to look like slices of bread. So I can't even. Dots or stripes? It's the battle of the dots or stripes. Okay, guys, that was a nice brain break. No, actually, they like my height. Okay, it's portable. Okay, let us go back. Someone in the DM's like, finally back to work. Okay. Okay, this I'm gonna reserve for a good day. Let's do this one. So I want the length of JF, which is over there. Where is my glue, Butle? Actually, it's somewhere here. Okay, guys. So I want length of JF. Zianda, no, don't be nervous. Why is Zianda nervous? Come on now. We can do it, guys. We have 4 minutes left, 6. But I'm giving us 4 because we have to go to a different class. So let's hurry up. Come on. Okay. As the triangle is, okay, now I'm looking at JF, H, the yellow one. Do I have enough information to find the side JF? So as the triangle is now, do I have enough information to find? Zeketela says no. Okay, we don't. Okay, we only have one side, which is JH. You can't do Pythagoras with one side. So now we're going to have to move to the smaller guy. Smaller triangle, this one. And look there. If you find the hypotenuse of the small triangle, it's going to give you the other side that you need for the bigger triangle. Do we see that, guys? So let's start it then. Let's find the hypotenuse of the smaller triangle. So smaller triangle, FG squared plus GH squared equals FH squared. Okay, how long is FG? How long is FG? Yes, let's say this is not that bad. Hello, how long is FG? There we go. Thank you, Lucidi. 32 squared plus GH is how long? 24. Thank you, Corbin. That will give us FH squared. Now I'm going to stop here because our time is up. And on, what's today? Tuesday.